Sono il Capitano Alessandro. I am the Captain Alessandro, and I will be playing Alessandro in the following contrasto sopra le armi e le lettere, the Amorous Debate on the pen versus the sword, featuring me, myself, and I, against Corina, la prima donna innamorata, the leading lady in love, as we debate the relative virtues of the pen versus the sword. Very philosophical and intellectual stuff, so pay close attention. This was written by Isabella Andreini, the most famous of all the great divas of the Italian Commedia dell'arte, and published after her death by her devoted husband, myself also, Francesco Andreini. Enjoy the show. Ogniamante, guerrier. Ogniamante, guerrier. Oh!
Such a pleasure to see you, Signor Capitano Alessandro. You whose valor outdoes the valor of that great one whose name you so worthily bear.
Welcome, Signora Corina, the one whose wit outwits the wittiness of that famous Greek poetess whose name you so deservedly bear.
I only wish I were Corina, for I'd love to make you immortal with my writing.
I thank you, Signora, but to prevent you from enduring such hardship, I can assure you that I have already become superhuman, indeed immortal, being as I am, il Capitano of an army of foot soldiers as well as of an entire cavalry.
Truly great is the dignity of the soldier, but in my view, greater still is that of the man of letters.
Arms were invented in heaven, and letters on earth. Therefore, arms are more noble.
Oh, softly now, Signor Capitano. Let's set some terms for our contest, and then we can determine its outcome. But first, we need to make a solemn pact, as did Rodomonte and Isabella. Between us, so that if I lose, I will be obliged to stay below and you above me, as a winner.
What pacts are these exactly, and to what matter would they apply?
The pacts are these. If I can prove to you that letters are worthier than arms, then you will be obliged to love me. Whereas now you hate me.
And if you do not prove your claim, what will become of you?
That which will please my very own Signor Capitano, the one who holds absolute sway over me.
Yours is bounteous courtesy, for the which I do not wish to be ungrateful. Therefore, begin.
I shall begin, Signor. And I say that those things acquired by letters are worth more than those acquired by arms, because they cannot be taken away, and they do not lie subject to the shifting wills of fortune. Letters do not engage in combat, whose end is most uncertain by the very fact of being at the mercy of fortune.
He who risks his life for his country is far worthier of praise than he who does not risk it. The soldier exposes himself to every kind of danger for the good of his fatherland, whereas the man of letters is a living dead man buried in the pages of his own volumes. Therefore, the soldier surpasses the writer in dignity.
The supreme good is gained through wisdom. Such wisdom is reached through reading and writing, and not through the practice of war. Thus, letters are far worthier than arms.
Now, arms are natural, as can be seen in brute beasts, most of whom are born well armed. The one with teeth, another with a beak, another with claws, another with a leather hide, another with scales, another with poisons, and one with one thing and another with another, and letters are artificial, and therefore arms prevail over letters. Ha!
I have always heard that it is not the soldier but the man of letters who commands the stars. And this is demonstrated by the precedence that letters take over arms.
This woman here is backing me into a corner and almost onto the ropes. I'll have to uproot her boldly and cut her down. The law! And the just application of the laws would be of little benefit to men of letters were it not for the sword that ensures their observance.
this Capitano is strong, robust, and valiant. A man of steely nerve. It will cost me much to resist him, yet all the same my spirit rouses me to defeat him. Plato asserts
Plato.
that only wise men should govern cities, and moreover, those cities where wise men do not rule cannot possibly be happy ones. And that not only does the art of war have no place in human well-being, but rather it is opposed to our happiness.
In the famous city of Rome, by the oracle of Apollo, the most valorous knight, Curtius, was chosen to liberate the homeland from the chasm. Yet, in that time, there existed and flourished an infinite number of men excellently gifted in the profession of letters. I believe, Signora, that by now you are starting to give in.
I shall never surrender. Indeed, it befits you to let your spear hang limp. That's for sure. Now, what thing is more dominated by fortune than warfare? And what thing has more need of the intellect and shows it better than letters? Therefore, letters prevail over arms, and here you need to duck quickly to avoid my thrust, Signor Capitano.
That profession is more excellent, which acquires for its practitioner more excellent titles. Now, the man of letters may study, and study, and study, but unless he does so and earns a degree, he shall acquire no title. Arms are worth more than letters, just as deeds are worth more than words. Now, parry with your tiny shield this strong thrust.
My little shield will repel your point without question. Now, those things are more perfect which are employed and exercised by yet more perfect things. Arms are employed and exercised by the body, and letters by the mind. And the latter is called divine because it is separate from the bodily senses. To conclude, I tell you that just as the soul shapes the body, so do letters shape the soul. And the soul that lacks knowledge can be said to lack any kind of shape. Letters lead one to flee vice and to embrace virtue. They admit knowledge into our intellect and expel ignorance from it, a feat nothing else can achieve. From this it follows that letters are worthier than any other thing, and certainly for good reason. For they teach us to remove infirmities from our body and to preserve our health. They teach us how to combat and defeat contrary fortune, as well as the world's shocks and blows. And thus, to draw to a close, victory being on the side of men of letters, it is your duty, Signor Capitano, to love me.
Signora Corina, I do not wish to wrong either the one or the other most honored profession, for each, as stated before, hath need of the other. Indeed, without the other, the one could not survive. And so that our contest result in an even decision, I am happy to love you, in order that our love proceed evenly, and that our pleasures, our delights, and our amorous contentment likewise thrive on even and equal terms.
And so doing, as it pleases me to believe, you shall also observe the pacts made between us.
Ha! Your beauty, your grace, and your high wisdom have power to make me yours without the need of any other pact.